4, 3, 2. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. What's going on, world?
What up?
Hey, guys.
Marquita,
What's
Kat, NK Riot. How we doing today?
Doing great.
We got special guests today. I'm going to let NK Riot bring it in because he's been telling us a lot about these guys, but he knows the most. So let's go. Who are we messing with?
We are introducing to the world Blitz Vega. It's one.
Yeah.
Blitz Vega. It's one of. Yes.
Such a big guest. He got choked up.
We got Blitz Vega in the house, and it's a real big honor. They're pushing a whole new aesthetic and scene in the music industry, and it's really, really great to have you guys on board. It's Cav and Andy Rourke from the Smiths, and just want to say thank you so much for coming out. And we're super excited about asking you questions about your upcoming U.S. debut on July 24th, this Wednesday, at the House of Machines. So,
wow.
Yeah, we're really excited about it.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
It's not an everyday thing. Definitely not an everyday thing. But, you know, we know the accolades, but we're going to take it back.
Yeah.
So where are you from, man? Because this is a worldwide platform, but the world needs to know where you're from.
After you, Andy.
Yeah.
You go for it, mate.
Flip a coin.
What, literally? Where am I from?
Yeah. What sourced this beauty? What sourced this talent?
From my mother's loins.
There you go. Let's give it up for the mothers out there.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where it begins. Yeah.
And then, I kind of landed in Manchester and I stayed there for a long time until 10 years ago. Then I relocated to New York. And in the meantime, I've been going back and forth from LA and New York and meeting up with Cav and doing some work.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I'm from a beautiful city called Leicester, which is right in the middle of England. Some people call it Leicestershire over in the States, but it's Leicester and Leicestershire.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of right in the middle of England. Anyway, then I moved to London in my early 20s, and I've been here in LA for 10 years.
10 years.
Really,
Amazing.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
man.
we both kind of arrived at the same time in the US, literally like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then, we started to do like some
Well, we sort of bumped it.
commuting.
Yeah, we knew each other for years. And,
Okay. So you knew each other in London?
Well, in the UK, because I was a big fan of Andy's and obviously his band, The Smiths, as when I was growing up and stuff. And then Andy came to one of my shows in Manchester, and we kind of got to know each other back then. And then we were both playing Coachella at the same time, and so we were backstage, and I was like, "Oh, how are you doing?" and all of that kind of stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I've just moved to New York." I'm like, "Yeah, I've moved to LA." And I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe we should, work together at some point." And then forward another 5 or 6 years when we got around to it, I was running some parties in downtown LA, Regent Theatre, which actually my boy NK Riot over there was, DJ'd out and guested with my other band. That was cool, man, wasn't it? Yeah. And then, Andy came to DJ, and we were like, okay, cool. I was like, come to the studio, and that was it. And Blitz Vega was born. So,
nice.
But we've only just launched it over the last sort of couple of months.
Okay. So what was commonality between you two? Because you major talents and everything like that, but what did you connect on? Like, what was that like fuse? Okay, I'm gonna work with you.
I think we both definitely agreed on what our passions were and what our influences were. From bands in the past, and it sounds, obviously, the Beatles, the Stones, the Kinks, it's just that kind of vibe, and so it was, and we also had like a love for dance music too, so to try and throw those two together, have like a classic English band but put a little dancey feel on it.
Yeah.
I think that was our whole aesthetic, really.
This man is so clever. He just answered my question. Where does your influence come from? So can you expand on that? with the beautiful British accent, of course. And I would love to know, in merging the two of both of you guys collectively coming together, what is the influence in between you guys that you share together?
I mean, basically, I suppose, again, the influences are very similar, but it's like, you know, as a musician, it's all about chemistry. Now, if you can't sort of naturally connect with people, then it's not going to work. You can be in a band with 4 other musicians, and for some reason, it just doesn't click. It doesn't work. You don't know why you're playing exactly the same songs, the same everything, but it just doesn't feel right. That it doesn't have that kind of magic there. And that's the stuff you can't explain. The thing is with me and Andy, you know, we got in the studio, we didn't have any major plans, but after about 4 or 5 hours, it was natural.
So that magic came from what? Your astrological sign? What's your sign? What are your signs? You guys are like both like grounded earth signs, or
we
very fire sign?
I'm a fire sign.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, fire
But I
sign.
hold it down. I hide it well. That's why I keep my shades on.
What are Aries, Leo? What are you?
I'm an Aries.
Aries.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn.
And Andy, you?
Capricorn.
Andy?
Oh,
Yes.
same. December birthdays.
Got it.
All right, so
Awesome.
fire
So
and
they-
earth colliding.
Yeah, there's
Great.
some, you know, I think
Great dynamics.
somehow we even each other out. Yeah,
That's amazing.
and we've never had one fight or one argument or anything, you know, which is really refreshing.
Whoa.
Amazing.
So I gotta say, I love 2 things that I heard you guys say. That is unity and chemistry. And the fact that you guys were able to find that vibe, that cohesiveness, I believe that is probably one of the main reasons why what you put out is so amazing. It's extraordinary. So I wanted to ask you guys, with all things considered, what do you hope to accomplish this year with that chemistry, with that vibe? Like, are there any projects you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, we went, we launched a project by doing like a live recording type show type thing with a special audience at Abbey Road Studio 2, which is obviously made famous by the Beatles and you know, all kinds of legendary artists. So we played there. That was a really sort of incredible experience. Just because of the history, you can feel it in the walls.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you can just so when you play there, you feel that kind of energy. It's incredible. So that's being released as a live EP next year.
Oh, we're ready.
Next year.
Next year.
Oh, ready.
And so then we're doing live. We're releasing an EP, this year. We've got a single coming out on August the 27th. And we've also pretty much finished an album, which we're recording at the moment. And that'll be out next year as well. And then we're just touring, really, doing what, you know, musicians do.
That right there.
What musicians do. You guys really tour, really.
Yeah, they're
Well,
pouring
yeah.
out.
Shitting me.
Yeah, well, you know.
They're pouring out, right, MK?
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there is really amazing. To be releasing live albums, like that's something that hardly anybody does anymore. I mean, the Grateful Dead used to release a live album every show, you know, which is amazing. Like, you know, Dark Star all the way, but like, but to be able to initiate that and bring that in the years that we live of like 2019, 2020, it's like, it's refreshing. And also it's going to allow the youth and younger audience to be more encouraged to like get up and do stuff live.
Absolutely.
And then form groups together and not always be behind a laptop and stuff. I mean, coming from an electronic artist, like I do miss the essence of being in the group and actually putting that energy out there. And
but you're like a live electronic artist as well, aren't you? You
That's
know,
amazing.
because you sing and play guitar live, and you do the keyboards live as well as sort of doing stuff, which is amazing. And I think that's a cool way of combining all of that stuff. I think for us, like you say, from a live point of view, we really wanted to capture that energy, you know, of a live band
really
playing, because you really miss it. You know, when you listen to a lot of artists, you know, it's cool, you can do a lot in the studio, but to sort of feel that human energy when people are playing and you're bouncing off each other.
So you're telling us that you're bringing nostalgia back.
Well, I'm saying that.
I mean,
we're trying.
You know.
Yes.
Well. I don't know.
If
we're not. We're just doing our thing.
I think
That's
it's,
amazing.
I think it's
That's
forward
fantastic.
thinking and futuristic for
We're just
me.
putting it out there, and let's see what comes back.
Yeah, see what happens.
But we're hopeful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I mean, would you agree that you have to be at a certain level of musicianship to record a live album? I mean, that's confidence. That's like press record, do your thing. Don't think about the record button.
Yeah.
You call it confidence. At the time, I would call it pressure. It was a lot of pressure.
So it was his idea.
Yeah, where the pressure come from?
It was kind of, it was kind of mutual. But
Let's do this.
yeah, it was a lot of, it was a lot of pressure. But I think sometimes it's great to have that pressure, and you have to rise up to that and come up with the goods.
Yeah, and it's what
you
you're
have to push yourself.
Agreed.
It feels good to have that kind of edge. It gives the music the edge as well. It captures it. And so if you're if you're too relaxed and calm about it all, then, it loses something, where's the passion in it? You need that kind of nervous energy to, you need to know that, I mean, we knew we were recording live. We couldn't go back and re-record anything. That was it. Cameras are on, there's an audience there and we're recording it and we're going to release it. So we better do it right.
We better deliver.
Otherwise...
Absolutely.
We're going to try to put him on the spotlight tonight and be like, we're live. No, I'm joking, guys. That's so amazing to just hear all of that and the inspiration. I've been a big personal fan on the Smiths, so I probably know all the lyrics. And to see you guys collaborating together, I think that's really amazing. I watched the single that you guys released that was for free and out to the public. Can you guys kind of tell us where the viewers can find that and follow you guys, how, the following goes?
Yeah, we're, you can listen to it on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. And you can also go
What's it called?
Oh, Hey Christo by a band called Blitz Vega.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey Christo, literally CHRISTO. Or
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
I have a question on that single. Did you record on tape?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I could hear like the tape hits in some of the tracks and tracking. It sounds amazing. And second of all, like, who was the engineer for that? Did a really good job. I like it.
The engineer for it. Well, it was.
I mean, if not to ask.
The engineer's hiding under the table.
It was a guy called Sada. Sada, who's a local LA sort of engineer.
That's amazing.
So we worked with him on that studio called New Monkey. And actually, the mixing desk that we used was the same one that David Bowie used on Spiders from Mars. So.
Wow.
Bowie vibes. Hey, guys.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Sorry, Cav. I'm a nerd. I just dissected your whole
No,
single. I was like, man,
that's
amazing. What is that?
Well, it's, that's totally cool, man. Hey Christo is a UFO hunter in the north of California. So if you want to get deep into it, so
I was curious about the storyline there. It was like, hey, Christo, we're referring to Jesus or, a guy named Christo. Like, everybody reads art different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's got a documentary on Netflix. So
Okay.
check it out. It's pretty crazy.
So you have a performance coming up this Wednesday. Do you have any guest performers joining you, or what's the lineup on?
Well, it's our band really, and no, as far as guests and stuff, we may have a couple of guests pop up. I'm not quite sure yet.
So Wednesday. Where can we follow you to know everything about that event?
At Blitz Vega. At Blitz Vega on Instagram is probably the best one, actually. Yeah.
Perfect.
And Andy Rourke Music on Instagram and Cav Blaggers on Instagram. Probably the easiest way of. Yeah.
So, before I let you guys go, do you have any DJs that you have in mind that you would like to possibly or potentially do remixes on your singles, like big DJs? If you like,
I mean, we've got a guy called Jags Kuna mixing the single at the moment, Lost and Found, which is coming out on the 27th of August. So he's mixing that. He's a real legendary sort of British producer. He's known for combining rock and roll and electronic music and stuff. He's worked with some great artists over the years. So just be able to work with him is
Yeah.
You know, it's an absolute.
Yeah, because the other day I was like mashing up Justice and your single with just going back and forth, and I don't know. I think we should hit them up and see what they think.
Well, you should do a remix.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. But
Asking you shall
Now we have
receive.
things brewing.
Exactly. Asking you shall receive. I second that.
All right, so
Third.
So we do this question to every guest that comes on because we feel like every guest comes from a higher power and they land here and we get to hear their story. But we ask this question: what is your superpower?
My superpower.
Yeah.
I think just I would say my ability to get on with other people, you know, and I think that really helps in you know, especially in a studio environment. You don't want to be a dick, basically. So yeah, I'm just I'm a people person, and I try and get along with people, respect them, and hope that they respect me.
Connection.
That's beautiful.
It really is.
How about yourself?
I would say trying to get the best out of other people, I guess, maybe. Trying to sort of step back sometimes. You know, one thing I've learned is, you know, when I was maybe a little bit younger, I was a lot more sort of fiery, less thought on reactions and stuff. So now I try to just take 2 minutes and kind of then react to a situation, trying to get the best out of, you know, I'm just talking in a band sort of situation, you know, trying to make everyone feel positive and good, because, you know, if everybody's feeling good, then you get a good, you know, result. Good vibe. It's all about
You got wise because
Leadership.
like the standard rule is like take 10 seconds, collect yourself, and you're like, I'm gonna take 2 minutes here. You're just like really collecting myself. So you guys really just brought that home, brought that energy home, and just let the fire and that earth working together to where you're just that fuel. Andy is just really that grounds for you guys. And I love what's coming up, and just I don't know what more to say.
On Wednesday, right?
Yeah, House of Machines.
House of Machines on Wednesday, everybody.
You have to come on.
Wednesday is gonna be lit,
And
right,
House of
okay?
Machines is located in the Arts District in downtown LA, correct?
Good
Okay,
looking
so
out.
And 7th and Mateo, that's where it's
7th and Mateo. So everybody be there Wednesday. The
Be
dates.
square.
So we're gonna try to show up, Kat?
July 24th.
Oh, we're showing up. We're dancing. We're dancing.
Yes.
We're dancing. I'm putting my boots on.
You are listening to
Us. No, there you have it. Let's give it up for Blitz Vega.
This Vega.
Thanks,
Trip Digital Radio, Sound Art Expression, always the best and staying the best. We'll be back.
Fire.